Aloha kako all, and welcome back to Just&True. Today I just wanted to kind of retouch on a topic that I had posted in an earlier video about gratefulness and the importance of gratefulness. A lot of people think that there's a spiritual aspect to gratefulness, which there is, but there's a much more impactful aspect of gratefulness and a much more practical application of gratefulness that you need as a prepper, in a natural disaster situation, but more importantly through any time of loss in your life, whether it be a pet, whether it be a person, whether it be a part of yourself. If you lose a limb, gratefulness is key to your sanity. And I would go further to say that a lot of mental disabilities or mental limitations rather can derive from a lack of complete and utter gratefulness. I think there's some misconceptions, at least I had a misconception, on what gratefulness truly was for a long time. And I've kind of boiled it down after much thought to the three steps of gratefulness. First of all, you have to be aware of what you're being grateful for. If you're not aware of the things you have, if you're not aware of that event or the person or the place or the thing that you're grateful for, then you can't even be grateful for it. So step one is being aware. A lot of people stop there. They say, oh, I'm aware of this. You know, they go around the Thanksgiving table and a lot of people go, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for this. But that's just step one. Now, if you are grateful that you have, just for instance, a hot rod sitting in your garage, or you're grateful that you have a daughter or a son, and you're grateful because you know and you understand that you have this daughter, this son, or this hot rod, then you're not really grateful, you're just aware that you should be grateful. Now let's say that unfortunately, I hope this never happens, but that son or daughter is taken away from you, that they pass, or that hot rod gets stolen. Now, if you're just aware to be grateful, you're going to be so sad at that loss. You're going to be just utterly destroyed. Now, with the loss of a child, that is a much more serious aspect, and you'll be destroyed either way, but it's still just as important. When you have just acknowledged that you're grateful for something and you stop there, that's not being grateful. That's being aware of the thing that you need to be grateful for. Gratefulness is more than just a mentality. It's more than just an awareness. It is an act. It is a privilege. It is a practice. It is something that we hone. It's a surefire skill. Now you have to put intent into gratefulness. You have to put it into application. You have to put a great manner of meditation and a great manner of education and thoughtfulness and work. There's a lot of work when it comes to gratefulness. So step one is you being aware of the things that you need to be grateful for. Step two is actually being in that gratefulness, is taking that hot rod out for a drive, talking to your son and daughter, throwing the ball with your kids, taking them to the movies, taking them to the beach, going out on parks, going out on vacations, putting away your work for an hour or two and just focusing on your family, focusing on your hot rod if you're a single person. But you have to, after you're aware of what you're grateful for, you need to realize why you're grateful for it and then implement it into your life. You know, you can't just be grateful for that hot rod or grateful for your kids and let them fall by the wayside. You're honestly not being grateful. At that point, you're aware that you should be grateful, but you're being negligent to the gratefulness. Once you're aware, you need to act on that awareness. Once you know, you have a responsibility to yourself and to your sanity and to your spirit, to your soul, to actually be grateful by acting, by working, by doing, by implementing it into your life. So a lot of us here in Hawaii, we have the beach. We love the beach. We're so grateful for the beach. Now, tons of us go to the beach on a daily basis. Lots of us do, but lots of us don't. Some people don't. Now, we take that beach for granted when we don't go. We can't be grateful for the beach and never use the beach. We can be grateful for the view of the beach and we drive by it every day, but we're not actually grateful for the ocean. We're not actually grateful for the beach. You can be grateful for the view of your car and grateful that you have kids, but you're not really grateful for your kids. You're not really grateful with your kids. You're not really grateful for that hot rod. You're just grateful at looking at it. So the second step of being truly grateful is actually experiencing that thing and acting and putting in the works of the thing you're grateful for. If you're grateful for your bike, take it out for a ride. That's how you truly show that you're grateful for that bike. If you're grateful for your kids, take them out on a bike ride. If you're grateful for your hot rod, go run over a bicycle. No, I'm just kidding. But once you see and understand what you're grateful for, you need to actually work on it. You need to be and do the things that you're grateful for. You can't just simply say you're grateful for something. There has to be a work attached to it, or it's an empty, irrelevant gratefulness. It's just a fake, false gratefulness. Now, third step, which a lot of passionate people do, but most people don't do. And I think that this third step might be the most important step to gratefulness, is sharing that thing that you're grateful for. Now, when you're grateful for something, you realize that it's an amazing thing. It's a good thing. It's something that you love. It's something that you cherish. It's something that makes your life better. It's something that makes you more happy and more stable. It's something that makes you a better you. And then you go further and you experience it. You go for the swim in the ocean and you just totally are literally are immersed in what you're grateful for. And you are using that gratefulness. You're not putting it to waste. You're going on that bike ride. You're taking that hot rod out. You're taking your children out to the park, to the movies, to church, to whatever you do. You're actually doing it. The third part is sharing that thing, sharing that gratefulness. Because how grateful can we truly be if we don't share that gratefulness with anybody? Then that gratefulness stops with us. So at one level, it just stops at us being aware. At another level, it stops at us doing it for ourselves. And that third level of gratefulness is actually sharing it with people. You know those people that are just like so grateful for things that they won't stop talking about it, or they try and push it on you or share it with you. Like, oh man, let's go for a hike, or let's go to the beach, or maybe it's your wife or maybe it's your husband who's a little, you can admit it, might be a little bit more grateful for your children than you are. I hate to say it. But they want to take them to the park, and maybe you're busy or life gets in the way and you have obligations, which you have to do to support your family, understandable. But there are people out there that are just so grateful that they share it with people. And that is ultimately the goal, is because at that point, you become fully grateful. That is when gratefulness sets in. That's when your mental health and your sanity will actually be solidified in that thing. You're truly grateful once you are aware of the thing that you're grateful for, once you act and implement that gratefulness or that thing that you're grateful for in your life, and then you share it to others. Because once you share it to others, not only is it solidified in your heart of hearts, in your subconscious, in your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it, that you are grateful for this thing because you're implementing it and now you're sharing it with others. If you weren't really grateful for that thing, you wouldn't truly be sharing it with others. And once you do share it with others, because you understand that it's making your life better, it's making you a better person, it brings you more happiness, more joy, more fulfillment, more sanity, a more sound mind, then you're sharing that with others. And once you realize and you see that that thing that you're sharing with others has brought them some sort of joy, brought them some sort of gratefulness, then that will just exponentially increase your gratefulness in that thing. I cannot say this enough, that gratefulness does not stop at awareness. Gratefulness stops at sharing it with others. You have to be aware of what you're grateful for, and then you have to implement it in your life, and then you have to share it with others. And when you do that, that full circle of gratefulness just encompasses around you, and you become truly happy with that thing. You will have no less fear of loss, you'll have less pain, you'll have less anxiety, and you'll have more joy. You'll have more insight, you'll have more knowledge in this thing once you truly share it with people. Because when you share it with people, they get the opportunity to enjoy it, they get the opportunity to be grateful for it, and you get the opportunity to share it with people. And if one day comes, which will always happen, this life guarantees loss, this life guarantees death. This life guarantees change. And that's why we need to guarantee ourselves gratefulness. Because when those things that we say we're grateful for disappear or are taken from us or leave or aren't a part of our life anymore, then we will be so shocked and thrown into a loop. And the very first thing your mind does is it goes through the what ifs. What if I took it out for another ride? What if I spent more time with them? What if I went to the beach more often? What if I ran more often before I lost my legs? What if? The things that we're grateful for, once they're gone, can tear us apart. They can utterly destroy us just through our depression, our sense of loss, our anxiety, and our fear. And we start to become more fearful of losing other things. But if you're that person who has that thing or has that person, and you are aware that you're grateful for that person or that thing, and you implement that person or that thing into your life, and you're actively using that thing because you're grateful for it, and then you share that thing with others, and you open your heart, and you let everybody know that you're grateful for this thing, and they start implementing those people or those acts or those things into their life. Once that thing gets taken away from you, it will still be a loss, it'll still be pain. It's a very normal thing to occur. But in this case, when you're fully grateful, you'll have a more sound mind, and you'll be appreciative of the things in the past that you had with it, instead of constantly criticizing yourself for what you did not do or did not say in those moments. Gratefulness is a very powerful thing. Gratefulness can change us utterly as people. It can change the way we speak, it can change the way we act, it can change the things we do and the habits that create us. And gratefulness is also very vital through our world, and it can spread tremendously. And once we become grateful for certain things in our life, even if we lose them, we'll have joy and we'll have happiness, knowing that we were completely and utterly fulfilled and grateful in that thing. Not one moment passed us by where we took it for granted. We were always appreciative of it. We were always aware of it. We were always implementing it to our life, so much so that we were sharing it with others. At that step, there's no more that you can do to show to yourself, to your subconscious, to your soul, to the people around you, that you truly are grateful. Gratefulness makes other people grateful for you. Gratefulness makes other people grateful for themselves. And once you start truly being aware of what you're grateful for and things you have to be grateful for, it becomes hard, it becomes work. You have to implement these things. But I assure you, gratefulness makes you a better person in every aspect. It'll make you healthier, it'll make you wealthier, it'll make you wiser, it'll make you more compassionate, because gratefulness lets us be aware of the things we have, and it makes us implement it into our lives. If you're grateful for your legs, you're grateful for your arms, you're grateful for your health, then you should be going out and running every day. You should be doing things that the people who don't have legs or don't have the ability to run do. You should, if you're grateful for your monetary wealth, if you're grateful for whatever stature you have in society, then you should share that with other people. And not just by telling them, but by giving them some of that wealth. You should do something with that wealth that actually will make you fulfilled inside. If you're grateful for that bike, take it out on a ride. Let your brothers or sisters or your friends, let someone else enjoy it. Or maybe just allow others to come on the trail with you, or encourage others to go on a bike ride. Nothing about gratefulness is unhealthy. Nothing about gratefulness is wrong. Nothing about gratefulness is evil or pain or fear. In fact, it is the opposite. Without gratefulness, you can't have love. Love starts with gratefulness. You could say it's its little brother. I'll leave you with a little tidbit. I was once told by a very, very wise Master Sergeant in the Marine Corps. I wasn't in the Marine Corps, as he was. And he said that our thoughts become our words become our actions become our habits, and our habits become who we are. So you got to be very aware of your thoughts, because they turn into who you are over a period of time. And if your thoughts are of things, and if your thoughts are just ungrateful, then your habits will be ungrateful, and you'll just have emptiness inside you. And I think it is very, very proper, and it is a very encouraging thing and vital thing for us to have in our life on a day-to-day basis. We have to have it to become the people who we want to be. We have to have it to enrich our lives with love and generosity and care and all the things that we need empathy, all the things that we need in our life to be a good person, not only for ourselves, but for our family, our loved ones, and the people around us. So we need to share that gratefulness with everybody, because it's very, very important. Now, in an SHTF situation, because this is a prepper channel, and we're all cuckoo crazy, in a good way, it's even more important then. Because in an SHTF situation or a disaster situation, you don't lose one thing, you lose all things. You might not just lose your bike. You might lose your bike, your house, your water, your refrigerator, your warmth, your electricity, your steady food supply, your steady medical supply, all your neighbors, all your loved ones. You may lose everything. Now, picture this, if you will. Any disaster happens, any SHTF situation happens, and it just so happens that you are alone in the wilderness or in a dark room. Choose your surrounding, choose your environment, and you are just destroyed because everything you knew, everything you thought you'd have for your entire life was taken away from you, and you're left there alone, destitute, desolate, deprived of the things that you once thought you were grateful for, but you truly weren't, because you start thinking, if you weren't grateful, about the things that you could have done, you should have done, you would do now, and you start bartering with yourself or to your God or to whoever, like, oh man, if I could only get one more chance, or if I had an opportunity, or I'd go to the beach more often, or I'd take that bike for a ride more often, or I'd play with my kids or my loved ones, or whatever it may be. But if you're that person who was completely grateful, if you're that person who showed gratefulness by acting and implementing it into their lives and then taking it a step further and sharing it with others, when that day comes, whether it be a disaster, SHTF situation, or an everyday occurrence, that those things are taken away from you, you'll feel loss, you'll feel pain, and that's normal, but you will not be deprived. You'll be encouraged and you'll be happy, and you'll find that comfort that you're seeking in that loss through your gratefulness. Your gratefulness will be your stone and your rock and your foundation through hard times. If you don't have that gratefulness, you'll fall privy to false comfort and false things that just won't fulfill you. It won't comfort you. It won't take away the pain of loss. Time doesn't heal all wounds. I think that's too overstated. Gratefulness will heal all wounds. If you're grateful for the things you have in your life now, even when they're taken away, you'll feel pain, you'll feel loss, but you'll have the comfort knowing that you are grateful for those things, for those people, for those events in your life, and that you encouraged people to share it with others, and that you implement it in your life so much that even when they're taken away, they're still a part of you deep down, because you're still grateful, because gratefulness doesn't expire. It's not a thing that happens in the moment, it's a reoccurring thing that we constantly work on. Mahalo, nui loa, thank you guys for stopping in, and please, please, please spread the word of gratefulness. I think it's an extremely important thing that in our society today we overlook. It's something that even I myself have to work on a constant basis, because there are so many things in this world to be grateful for. It is almost impossible to be grateful for everything. So look around your life and choose the things you're going to be grateful for, and work on being grateful for them. Not just by noticing you're grateful for them, but by putting good works in, by sharing their love, by sharing their gratefulness, by sharing how you're grateful with the world, because it'll only grow and it'll make you a better person. And if anything ever happens to those things you're grateful for, you'll find comfort in the fact that you loved it. Well, again, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good day, and mahalo nui loa. E hui ho until next time.